Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow, we have made it through the week. It's Friday. And I have done some Christmas shopping. So I'm happy that we're here. I hope you don't wait till the last minute. Then get out and shop. So I tell you, I am so excited about the show today. We got a guest that's been on the show many, many times, but she was here a couple of weeks ago and she was talking about her book and she created a curriculum and course about her book that I thought was so important that the whole world understands this because it brings out things where it brings us to be able to understand certain things that might be happening and most of the control is you, but you don't know that you got the control. I'm just going to pull back right now from that one, and because I know Dr. Cooley will beat me up if I give away the title and if I give away the guest name right now. So, hey, how you doing, Dr. Cooley? How you doing?
I'm doing great, James. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Anytime we got this guest on the show, it just give me a extra step in my. I'm talking about. I just get
Extra
excited.
pep in your step?
Yeah, more than that. But she is so wonderful, and I'm excited to have her back on to do part two of her book and the course that she has written. So I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether you're watching us on E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 68 live platforms, welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching this on and just ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Michelle, I cannot wait to get started with this guest. So, can you please enlighten our viewers and our listeners with the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this magnificent guest?
Yes. Well, the title of today's show is called It's More Than a 10-Week Course. We're doing part two here. So we had our guest on the show last week, Dr. Stacey Bulluck. She's a CEO, transformational speaker, evangelist, media host, and author. She's going to talk about teachings from her latest book titled Are You Present? She's talk about a little expand more into awareness, lifetime of growing our hearts and minds, gaining insight to fulfill our purpose. So Dr. Bulluck is the owner and founder of Power and Resilience, workforce development and life coaching agency. She provides workforce development training, individual life skills training through the coaching agency. She's the president CEO of Order Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit serving homeless women and formerly incarcerated women veterans. And ladies, gentlemen, she's also a military veteran. I want to say that. And she's the best-selling author of 2 spiritual self-help books. And she has her current book, Are You Present, out there for viewers to read and just get inspired. So I'll let her tell you a little bit more about herself. And we're doing part 2. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Stacey Bulluck.
How you doing, Dr. Stacy?
I'm doing wonderful. Now that will put some pep in your step. That applause, that introduction, the
Well, hold on. It's some audience said they didn't. It's an absolute pleasure having you back on, and I'm so happy that you accepted to come back on because I think we might have got to 3 or 4 of the 10 courses. And first of all, Stacy, can you tell our listeners and our viewers a little bit more about you? Just try to catch them up real quickly on some of the things that you're doing, especially this best-selling author, best-selling book that you just released.
Okay, so right now I'm teaching this 10-week course, and from the title, as you said, it's more than a 10-week course. And what I want to say that I'm endeavoring to do through this is to give us the ability to be able to expand our thoughts about who we are and having an understanding of who we are. That's the biggest thing. We must be able to understand the big picture. I'm not saying we want to understand every step of the process, but what we must understand is how we show up in the process.
And that's so important because as we talked a couple of weeks ago when you was on, many people don't know who they are. I mean, they know their names and their family, but they don't know who they are as an individual. And so a lot of people are not present uh, in a realistic and reality conversation because they're so busy trying to be somebody else. Or,
Mm.
oh, I like how that person walk. Let me walk like them. Oh, I like how they talk. Let me. Uh-uh. First of all, and you taught me this, Stacey, you have to accept who you are. I mean, truly, accept everything about who you are, not what other people, the image that they want to see you. I mean, if
Mhm.
you if you show who you are, they're gonna see that image anyway. That this is you being real. Can you talk about that one before we hit this course?
You know, when you said talk about being real, authentic, um, I'm going to use marriage as an example prior to marriage. I'll say, when you meet somebody and you fall in love with them and you fall in love with everything about them, and then you actually get married and you try to make a change in that individual, that's not fair. That's not how they're going to show up as their best self. If we try to make changes, we need each other to show up as our best self in every situation. I have this little phrase that I say, always be awesome. And what does that mean? It means in every situation, good or bad, happy or sad, we show up and do what the middle word says, be. I use that as an acronym for bringing excellence. But I can't bring excellence if I don't know who I am truly.
So Stacy, for people out there, just like if we got a LinkedIn, you just say, "Amen, Amen." Yeah, yeah, I'm on this. What would you suggest that a person that don't know who they are but want to know who they are? Besides getting your book, we're gonna hit that up in a minute because now you got some nuggets in that. What would you tell them about um, not worrying about what others think about them? I mean, this with Michelle, I got what we call the three P's, right? You know, if
Mm-hmm.
a person is not, I'm talking about this is me and her. Well, I tell baby, don't worry about what anybody say or think or whatever that is. I mean, well, you need to worry about what I think or what, and I need to worry about because if they're not, paying your bills, I'm talking about, and they got opinions and all that right there. You shouldn't be worrying about what anybody else thinking if they're not putting food on your table. I'm talking about feet. They
Mm-hmm.
out there you were wrong. No, they see me like this. I gotta act like this. And if
Mm-mm.
if they're not protecting you with love, you should not worry about what anybody else think. That's the three P's right there, by the way.
Mm-hmm. 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 So I mean, don't worry. I wrote so many things are going through my mind. I'm gonna get it out. Oh, five things just shot through my brain at one time. And the first thing I want to talk about is a program that I wrote. It's called S.O.A.R, S.O.A.R, and it stands for self-observation, activation, alignment, adjustments. I know there's a lot of A's, and resilience. But the biggest one, the first one, self. What makes you?
Hey, Stacey, hold that thought because we're gonna have to take a station break shortly, and I don't want to get off uh, into that without actually knowing. I'm talking about. So, I want you to come back and talk about S.O.A.R again.
Okay,
But I
okay.
tell you what, whichever platform that you are watching us on, all you have to do just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you, this great Dr. Stacey Bulluck, will get you an answer. Remember, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Check it out. It's Dr. J.C. Cooley. Hey, let's go. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hey, I had to throw that up a picture in between us because sometimes it's a party.
I was just getting ready to say, but we having a party. This is a good.
We're having a party. And I tell you what, in case you're just tuning in, we got the fabulous, the wonderful Dr. Stacey Bulluck, best-selling author, evangelist. I mean, she got so many adjectives, and also spoken word. And you know what? Well, we might throw that in toward the end, and I'm gonna give her a word, and she's gonna give me one, and it's a friendly competition, but not right now because I want to know a little bit more about the 10 course. It's more than just a 10 course. We started on that 2 weeks ago, and she was going over all of this. Now we getting ready to talk about S.O.A.R. That's what she just talked about. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do, go to the platform that you're watching us on, ask any questions. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Stacey, can we pick it back up from I think you said S.O.A.R. I forgot how
S.O.A.R. S like fly, like go higher.
yeah.
And so that's the first thing. In the first letter stands for self. So in order to know self, we have to come to a conclusion, and I'm not going to get this word away, but we have to find the distinctive factor of who we are. We are made so intricately. We all have gifts and talents. And so there's something about you, there's something about me. I don't think that everyone in the world has the ability to come on a great show like the James Cooley show, It's Your Life, and be able to communicate with people. Everybody can't be Dr. J.C. Cooley either. He has his way of doing it. I have my way of doing it. However, the overall goal is that we're both successful in being who we are. Basically, that's just it about life. Be successful at being who you are.
Now, I like that you identify self. It all starts with self, and identifying who is the real self.
Mm.
Success lies within everyone, I believe, Stacey, but it's up to each individual to discover that. I think each one of us are born with purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and I think, and a lot of people don't find that purpose because they don't search inside. They don't search inside of self.
Right.
If you can't identify self, and just like, well, I was born in a bad family, I was born in a bad situation, I was born in all these things. Guess what, Stacey? You was born. And you might have not been born in royalty or this or that, but keep in mind you was born. You got purpose. Your current situation is not your final destination. Discovering self
That's right.
will help you discover your path. So can you talk about that one? Let's go to the next letter in S.O.A.R.
Mm. Okay. The next letter in S.O.A.R is observation. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your behavior. I'll use myself as an example because I believe that that's about the best person I can talk about. I know me well. Um, while I was getting ready to be on the show, I was moving around trying to get my lighting, trying to do different things, and I moved from several different places. And in the and while I was doing that, I was knocking stuff over. I got a smoothie waiting for me on a coffee table out there when I get done. But guess what? Previously, prior to me doing the work on me, finding out that I am a calm, I bring, so with me knowing that, and guess what? Accepting, and you used the word, I think we said agree somewhere in there, to engaged in being who you are. We must partake in this on a daily basis. I could have lost my cool. I could have got on the line and, had a major attitude, but my choice to say that's not who you are.
Wow. That is amazing because we don't want to pretend that we're somebody else. And, sometimes you have to laugh at yourself too, laugh at your differences. And you could be goofy or, just little idiosyncrasies. If they're not harming you or harming anybody, that's something that you were born with. And it's something that's endearing to others as well as yourself. Before I go more into that, we got a question from Sharika Booth. She wants to know, how does one know when they fully know who they are? Can you address that, Dr. Stacey?
You know what? I don't know if we ever come to that conclusion. And I'm going to explain why I say that. Because I said last week, we are eternal beings. So we are perpetual. However, there are stages that I believe that we all should strive to get to. In the psychology world, they call it actualization. When you come into this realization of who you are at that time in your life. When I was 20, I wasn't the person I am now at this age. So there are many stages and steps, but the thing about it is because We are so expansive. We always have the ability to grow if we choose to take the opportunities to do so. I said a couple weeks ago, millionaires and billionaires, they get up and they go to work. Why? Because they still have a drive and a passion to grow, to expand. So that's when I don't think we'll ever get to a place of fully, just because of how expansive God created us to be. When we look at the ocean, think of yourself as being as vast and having the capacity to house what it is that God has created you to do specifically. I always go back to myself because I know myself well. I write. I don't think there is a time of day that I cannot write. That's because I know that there is such a depth within me. I have accepted that. And I'm not saying to anybody out here that was an easy place to come to. I had some people get upset with me when I was teaching some classes in California, and I didn't know why for a long time. And then I had a friend to come to the class, and she said to me, Stacey, and this is not a pat on Stacey's back. This is just awareness. She said, Stacey, you make it look easy. It's not. Every day. Every day I have to say, I'm going to use wisdom. I'm going to follow the inner guide, my instructions to remain who I am. I say I bring peace, then that's what I should be doing.
Wow. It's interesting. You made a comment earlier when you said that you're not the same person, none of us are, that you were back in the day. You're totally different. And it's funny because sometimes I might think, wow, I'm thinking about myself in the 20s. I'm like, wow, I did this. I put up with this. What was I thinking? But you see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see yourself with a clearer lens as you mature and you do gain wisdom. And you also mentioned that, based on our viewers' question, there's so much more we have to learn about ourselves. And sometimes trials and tribulations are the lessons that pull stuff out of us that we didn't know was even there. How are we going to develop unless we've been tested, unless we've been tried? It's not a fun thing, but if you want to grow, and sometimes growing pains are hurtful, you have to be tested and you have to be tried. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, wow. I'm so glad you brought up growing pains. Actually, in the last week class, we talked about growing pains, and they're real. They come after a growth spurt. So in order for us to experience being on a higher thinking plane or a higher level or a higher projection, we are going to have to be willing to go through whatever the process is to get us there. I love Survivor. I'm a Survivor fan. And it just popped in my head, one of those sand pits that they have to crawl through, actually move sand out of the way while moving your body forward to get out of that tough spot. We have to be willing to crawl through, to dig through, to get out of the tough spot. And it's going to take some effort. It's going to take some energy. But with effort and energy in physics equals power. So we'll get the power to do it as long as we are saying, I'm putting forth the effort. We can't just sit down and think that, on the couch every day, all day watching TV and say, I'm going to lose 5 pounds by next week. I'm not going nowhere.
You got people out there, and I see them every day, that want to lose weight. Well, have to lose. I'm talking about not just want to, but got to lose weight. And in their mind, they don't want to put the work in. They don't want to think it out. They just want to. I got a friend of mine that said, okay, I'm going to lose weight. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna go to the sauna for about 30 minutes and sit in there, and then I'm gonna, get on this treadmill or elliptical for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna lose no weight. I mean, you might create a more healthy cardiovascular a little bit more, but that's not that's part of the purpose. But you have to put the work in, and you have to understand that if you are trying to achieve a goal, especially weight loss or whatever that is in life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you cannot try to take the easy way around and not walk by mirrors. I mean, I said it. I ain't gonna walk by no mirror. Oh, it's gonna tell me the truth. And I just want to have it in my mind that I'm doing it, and I can tell everybody that, oh yeah, I'm doing all these things, and that's what how it's going to be. But Stace, we're talking about SOAR, like SOAR, and we're gonna pick up. We talked about the S and the O. When we get back from the station, we'll pick that up, and just like what the title of her book is, are you present? Are you present? Are you present for this interview that we have here? If you are, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you got to do is go to the platform that you watch this on. Ask me the question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Yes, you're listening to this to you shortly.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and I tell you, we're talking about from this great Dr. Stacey Bulluck, her new book called Are You Present? And we're talking about it's more than just a 10 course. She created a course, a curriculum from a book, but it's more than just a 10 course. It's life. It's putting out. It's educating. It's inspiring. It's bringing to your attention, how things are. So I'm just honored to have her on the show today again, and she'll be back on because we're gonna have part 3 because this is so enlightening. But first of all, before I go, I want to say that our new show starts. When is that, baby? That starts Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. San Diego, KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all of that. So we're happy about that. But we got some good news. We just got picked up in the Dallas area as well. And so we're going to be on AM 660, The Answer, K-Sky, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hey, Stacey, they gonna mess around. We're gonna take over the whole nation.
Oh, all right. That's right. I agree with you.
and additionally, we on live on all the different platforms Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, where you can catch the
Yes.
James Show. It's Your Life, where we have absolutely fantastic guests. I mean, especially doctors like Dr. Stacey Bulluck. So I want to get back to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, go to the platform. You're watching the song, ask any questions that you might have. Stacey, now we were talking about part of your course called S.O.A.R, like soar like an eagle. And we talked about S and the O. What's next, Stacey?
Ooh.
What's next? Can I go back to the O just a little bit, because I want to let us help us understand that when we are observing ourselves, that it's almost as if we're looking at ourselves from a different perspective. We have on a different lens. We are now taking on accountability to see where we're lacking and where we're strong. Sometimes we may be, have a weakness of overthinking. So we have to observe that, pay attention to that. But we wanted me to move on to the A, and there are 3 or 4 A's, depending on where I'm teaching and what I'm teaching. The A's stand for adjustments, alignments, and the biggest thing is the adjustment. Sometimes we have to make these adjustments when we get to a place that we become aware of a behavior that is not beneficial for showing up as our best selves in the world. We have to say, you know what? Am I able to understand my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions and how they go together? Because when we can do that, now we can remove this factor of helping us to make adjustments in life. And that factor is selfishness. We have this human tendency to, it shows up. And there are times when people are not aware of when it shows up. And when they begin to say things, I remember I had somebody say to me, I'm trying to be cautious. They may be watching. However, they said to me, I'm not going to be where I said I was going to be at the time I said I was going to be there, but you can wait for me. And I'm going, I can't wait for you because I have to be someplace at a specific time. And this was, this was something that was well known between the two of us. And so I was like, wow, I don't think they were aware of what they said. I don't think they had the ability to comprehend at that moment. And so we really have to pay attention to what we say to other people. How are we showing up to everybody that we meet? Our awareness should bring peace and it should bring love, because those are two main ingredients. And stay on track. Let me put it that way. I think the connection is wonky, but I'm good now.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of a delay, but that's okay. That's okay. Stacey, if you want to summarize the statement you just said the last couple of minutes, how would you summarize it in one word and why?
Watch yourself and your behaviors, and are they showing selfish tendencies? Are you so wrapped up in you that you can't be aware of someone else's feelings? That's part of being aware. See, the word that I talked about last week, awareness.
Yes.
Aware is just the adjective. However, when we add ness to it, now is where it begins to take on, I'll say, life. Because now what is the quality of your mindset when we begin to say things that could potentially be hurtful to other people? Are we aware that we have said something or done something that may not have been beneficial for both parties?
But it's all about denial too. Sometimes you can talk yourself into believing something. You really can. People can talk themselves into believing that the things they said, the recommendations, the things they have done is for the good of everybody. But when they look down deep inside, a person knows themselves so well. Even if you don't know everything about yourself, that feeling, that conscious, that unsettledness, you know the truth.
How many times do people ignore that?
But it's funny, and I'll give you a perfect example. Hypothetically, let's say you got two friends. You find out that somebody's getting fired or something like that from a job, right? And you don't like that person getting fired, and you tell them what's going to happen, even though it's the truth. Your motives and intentions were not pure. You have to really think about why. It's about why are you doing it? Why are you saying it? If you got that unsettled feeling, that means something isn't quite right, and you are not making yourself aware of what you are truly doing and the why.
Hold on, Michelle. You're not telling me I'm getting fired, though.
It's your show. But what do you think about that, Stacey?
But the thing about it is having the ability. See, sometimes we're not going to be able to fault people because everybody does not have the ability to understand their thoughts, feelings, and actions, because our lives have encompassed so many things, and sometimes we might get a little skewed in our thinking, and we feel, oh no, this is okay. It's okay for me to behave like this out in public when I, kind of making a fool of myself. Everybody doesn't understand that that's not what we're supposed to do. Some people think that's normal.
And a lot of, it's personality, right? It's a time for everything, I believe. Making a fool of myself, I do that. Not literally going out being stupid or nothing like that, but sometimes I just want to have fun, and I do. And Michelle as well. Especially inside the house. But are you present, mentally, physically, emotionally? Is something that I think most people have to think about,
Mhm.
because if you're not present in those three areas, it's almost impossible, I believe, to make a rational cognitive decision, because then you just go by emotions, or you go by first thing you see, you go by what somebody else tell you. We got about a minute before the break. Can you talk about that?
We can't go on somebody else tells us, because they are not the creator of who we are. We must understand who we are from within. We can't show up having our character not intact. And I'm not saying that we're perfect, because we are not. However, we know, like Michelle said, we get that feeling. There's a feeling that comes along with when you're not in alignment. And I'm not saying you got to meet all the social norms. Don't get me. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, when we go outside, guess what? We're going to put on clothes.
Yeah, you're right. I'll tell you what, hold that thought. We got the station break. This is wonderful conversation, Stacey. We got to do part 3. I mean, we might end up doing all the course. I mean, but it's so informative, and I think our viewers and our listeners need to have an understanding of are you present and the course that you're talking about, and honesty, integrity, and ethics, imposter syndromes, get rid of all that. I think all those things are important. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a station break. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching this on. I promise you, Dr. Stacey will get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you what, I'm really thoroughly enjoying this conversation with Dr. Stacey Bulluck, and we're talking about, just in case you just coming in, we're talking about are you present mentally, physically, emotionally, and we're talking about a course that she has written in her book, 10 course, that she is teaching, and you might want to join this course. She will tell you how to be a part of this course, and but she's gonna tell you that later. But I want to get back to the conversation. We talking SOAR. I don't think we made it to the R. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Did we get that, Stace?
No, we didn't make it. Haven't made it to the R yet.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so R is resilience, because all of that we went through in the process, self-observation, adjustments. The next thing is resilience. It's going. Everything's going to come back around full circle, most likely. Maybe with a different face, a different name, a different season of life. We were talking about that earlier as the viewer asked the question, how do you know when you fully know who you are? And we get to the point where we know, oh yes, I am fully committed to being a writer. This is Stacey. Is Stacey fully committed to writing 100 books? There's the difference. And if there are 100 books in me, I want to write them. I need to have them out there in the earth, because I was placed here and gifted as a writer. And I always say, this is how we pay our rent to the earth, using our gift.
And you know what, Stacey, and we both are writers, and we love to write. We love to share our story. We love to uplift others, and any way that we can by sharing our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And our thoughts, meaning it might not necessarily be their thoughts, and fully committing to writing and radio and television and all that. This is where I'm supposed to be. I mean, I did not know that, because many times I wasn't present. and a lot of things, at least I thought I wasn't present,
Mm-hmm.
and how things would go. But I'm a true believer that, like I always say, your current situation is not your final destination. Just because you're in a situation today and you don't see a path forward at that time, keep looking. Keep looking. Keep looking.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you don't see a way out, or and you like want to give up, keep looking. How you keep looking is being present in your own self, your
Mm-hmm.
own mind, and
Mm-hmm.
your own heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I mentioned earlier, God got purpose for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take us away, He's gonna take us away. If He's gonna give a clue. Oh, a little crack over there. Oh, a little daylight. That's what I saw. You go open that, boom, you out. It's so important. I believe, to mentally, physically, and emotionally, to be involved. And what you're talking about in your book is so extraordinary. I mean, we need to sell 1 million copies or 10 million copies of this around the world, because it's that important. If that make any sense, can you talk about that? And let's get to the R. Uh,
We did the R. We did resilience.
Yes,
mhm.
we did.
Yes, we came back around full circle, because we're gonna need that resilience. We're gonna need that bounce back power. But I wanna say this. You say keep going, keep going, keep on asking yourself questions.
Mhm.
Because sometimes we find ourselves in the same situation over and over and over again. But did we stop to ask the question, why do I keep doing it this way? why we have to become so focused on ourselves that we see when we're about to go down the wrong road. And this course is more than just a 10-week course, will help us to see that we don't need to go down that road again, or we don't need to go down the road the first time. I suggest to everyone to write yourself a personal mission statement. It will keep you on track. Why are you here?
That's so important in doing that. So, Stace, I want to do this. I promised our viewers earlier, uh, as it relates to spoken word, because you are a super pro, and you know I'm okay. I'm all right with that. But we're gonna do spoken word right here, and I'm gonna give
Uh-oh.
you. Hey, Michelle.
Huh?
Why don't you give Stacy a word, and then you got 1 minute, Stace, and then you turn around and Stace, you give me a word. So it's not fixed. It's not this. It's not that.
I
Uh,
can do a spoken word. Okay, no, I can't.
you're not involved in this one, Michelle. I heard. I mean,
Okay. For time's sake, I got a word for you, Stacy. You ready?
Yes.
Um, hopeful.
Ooh. Hope. Keep your hope full. Always have the intention of building and growing. Hope will always push you forward. Hope will never let you down.
wow. Okay, Stace, give me a word. Don't hurt me too bad, because
No,
you know I'm slow at thinking.
because you said it already. Purpose.
Purpose. I believe that we are all born with purpose. I believe that it's inside of each and one of us. I believe that purpose dwells all around us. We have to see it for ourselves. I believe God direct us and show us a light and give us a path as it relates to our purpose. And I think sometimes we look at the aftermath, what it was, what it should, and what it should be. But God's purpose for you is not like it's perfect for him, her, or this. God's purpose for you is because you are you. And that's why I believe purpose resides in each of you. Purpose.
I got a spoken word.
Oh, hey.
Show. I'm gonna give me a
Well,
word.
hold
Give
on,
me a
hold
word.
on. I'm gonna give you a word.
Go ahead.
Love.
Love. Love is majestic. How majestic. Love is a beautiful feeling that towers over clouds that's sent from above. When you realize you're in heaven, you realize you're in love.
Love. Well, she only get a click and a half, Stacy. Hey, Stacy. I want to close this out. What are your closing remarks to our viewers and our listeners? And you got to promise me that we can do part 3, because we need to get this out to the world, Stacy. So, are we on for part 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, what are your closing remarks to our viewers and our listeners?
To close out, since we're still in this place of being aware and present, make sure that the state of your presence, the state of you understanding who you are, is a healthy place.
Yes.
And not coming from a place of somebody telling you negative things about who you are. Ask yourself, what are you saying to you about you?
I believe that that's so important, to know what you are saying. Oh, well, not what you're saying, but what you believe. What you believe about you. Now, if you're imposter syndrome, you're trying to be everybody else, you're gonna float with the wind, and you're gonna find yourself because you're gonna run out of cards. There's only 52 cards, right? And you can be the Joker and the King of Spades, the Eight. I mean, what happens when you run out of cards? Then is all that who are you? So my thing is this: identify who you are, that you have purpose, and you might want to get this great book. Stacey, please tell them how they can get this book and how they can get in this course.
Amazon.com, Eventbrite, Are You Present?
Stacey, when is your next course coming out?
Thank you, because the next one starts February 1st.
February the 1st. I want everybody we're going to get more information on that. I tell you what, Stacey, thank you. We'll see you in about 2 weeks. In the next.
We're going to close out the new year with Stacey.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, especially today with Dr. Stacey Bulluck. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners for always tuning in to the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also on the radio, KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, and K-Sky out of Dallas. That's coming real soon. So always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm somewhere tomorrow. I don't know, on the radio. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.